Okay, Caden and Jinny, welcome to the show. How you doing today?
Thanks. We're great. We're excited to be here.
Yeah, we didn't meet at Inbound, but you did win the AI pitch competition at Inbound for Cello, which is really awesome. How have things been in the past, I don't know, like 2 weeks since then?
Yeah, it was great. I think one like really exciting being able to pitch like on stage in front of so many people. And then also like was great to have a bunch of people sign up to our platform afterwards, which is really exciting. And
Cool.
then we like love talking about this problem space. So that was great.
The first thing I kind of wanted to hit on for the both of you is kind of the problem that led you to found Cello and decide what to do with it. So, where did the problem start for you both?
Yeah, I can start and then we'll ask Jinny. So I mean, you could probably tell looking at us, we're not fashion people. I'm like wearing a hoodie right now. So that is not my background. But Jinny and I both have backgrounds in like data, tech, analytics, and then also like making people feel confident and feeling like they belong.
Hmm.
And I think that something that we've noticed in like our years of doing that work is that in moments of life transition, like good and bad, one of the first levers that people turn to is their appearance. So, when you get a new job and you feel amazing about it, and you want like your appearance to reflect that. You go on a shopping spree. When you go through a horrible breakup, you like
Right.
go get like the breakup like haircut and like want to like find clothes that make you feel good.
Yeah.
Um and so we think that like getting dressed is about much more than just like, oh, I want to like find something that fits my taste. It's about like how you feel about yourself. Do you feel good? Do you feel confident? Like there's a lot of emotional resonance there. Um, and we think that like the market's not really serving that today.
Hmm.
Yeah. And so if you look at the industry, we're not satisfied with how they're shaping the problem and solving it. They're effectively going like, how do I align trends and match your taste to sell you the next item? And that's
Mm.
fundamentally not aligned with customer goals and values. And they ignore this deeper sense of like belonging and building confidence. And you can kind of see it in the industry. Like they look at, their body types and like it's all always like thin models, tall models. And then you
Right.
also see fast fashion. So they're always pushing out new trends, forcing consumers on this like hamster wheel of trying to chase and trying to keep up with things. And so tiring and exhausting. And so part of that is like what we're thinking of like we can empower people in an industry that's always reminding them of like what they are not. Rather, let's empower them and build more confidence with our customers.
Yeah, and you mentioned kind of a sense of belonging that you want to bring to users. How do you feel like you're able to kind of implement that feeling with Cello, which is an AI powered platform?
Yeah, great question. So I think we really fundamentally believe that like we're in this amazing time where AI technology enables us to like democratize things like personal styling that used to be
Sure.
like only affordable to a few people. But with that, I think that styling is like fundamentally different from a lot of services that have been democratized. Like if you think about something like, Uber or like Lyft or something like that, like the ability to kind of democratize like, calling out your own private car. I
Yeah.
think that's actually much like more straightforward problem to solve because there's not like that art and like emotional resonance and like human kind of creativity element that you see in styling. So our approach at Cello has been to use technology and AI to really capture the context of who you are. So what you already own, what you like, what your lifestyle is, what your body looks like. But then we pair that with actual like real professional stylists who do the styling, who get to know you, who make you feel like truly seen. And so we feel like both those pieces like are kind of required to deliver a really good customer experience.
Yeah, and you mentioned democratizing fashion, which I think is really cool, or democratizing this idea of like personal stylists, because a lot of us, myself included, have never had a personal stylist help us get dressed or like help us say like, oh, what color looks good on you. Like I know some of my friends even went to Korea to figure out like, oh, what color is like works with you
Yeah.
with like a color scientist. How do you try to bring that relationship to from cello with your personal assistant on there, and how are you making it accessible to like anybody that could get on there?
There's two schools of thought of like how you can use it. One is to generate outfits and recommendations and content. And the
Sure.
other is like, hey, like we can use it to help make a stylist's job a lot easier. And so if you look at, we like shadowed a ton of stylists for our research. And they spend a lot of time just like going through your clothing. They spend a lot of manual hours like booking meetings, getting to know you and who you are as a person. And so if we're able to capture who you are, kind of like when you go to Korea and like kind of see like here's your face shape and things like that. And we can capture all of that in maybe just 30 minutes. It saves you both time, but also the stylist time, which makes it a lot more affordable. And the stylist gets to focus on things that they enjoy more, which is not kind of like taking photos, but more so in the art and curating.
So how does somebody, a user, for example, like upload their information to Cello and, like face measurements, all that stuff? A lot of people may not know how to do that, myself included. So how do they upload all this information, and how does that kind of process work?
Yeah, great question. So for us, it takes just 30 minutes. So essentially, like the Cello experience is you book a 30-minute call with someone on our team. During that time, you're just kind of videoing over what's in your closet. And you're also, more importantly, talking to your like style coach about your goals, your lifestyle, why you want to get styled, like what kind of moment in life you're at. Like a lot of our current customers are people who just changed jobs, people who just had babies, people who are entering the dating scene for the first time. So we're capturing all of that in those 30 minutes. During that time, we also have like an optional kind of body scan, which will take your exact measurements, takes like 3 minutes. And then essentially like that onboarding part is done for you. Like takes anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. And it's kind of a combination of capturing both like what you already own, what your body looks like, but then also kind of the deeper emotional work of like, why did you want to get styled? Like, what are your goals? Things like that. So that's where it begins. And then your stylist takes over and curates like very specifically kind of looks, outfits, new shopping recommendations if you want them, that are kind of aligned with what you talked about on the call. And then we found that it's really important for people to be able to have back and forth with their stylist. So you'll kind of get your initial recommendations. People usually have questions. People usually have like additional things they want. Like maybe they have something in their closet that they're trying to figure out how to like style. So there's usually some back and forth with the customer after that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really cool. I can't believe it's just 30 minutes. That's pretty crazy. To like get all this information. I'm sure you're surprised by it too, because it seems like a lot of information to boil down into a 30-minute discussion and then measurements and a body scan. It's very impressive.
Look, I'm going to be straight with you. Everybody's talking about AI, but most people are just playing around with ChatGPT instead of actually making money from it. That's why we dropped the ultimate crash course to create your own AI side hustle in 7 days. We're talking real frameworks and strategies from the pros, like the founder of The Hustle, Sam Parr. It includes mini guides, templates, the whole 9 yards, stuff that takes years to figure out, condensed into 1 week. Stop what you're doing right now and grab it in the show notes. Your future self will thank you.
Now, when this information gets over to the stylist, right, does everybody have one kind of stylist that they work with together, or do you have kind of multiple that can ebb and flow?
So we have a network of stylists that we partner with. What we found is that like people resonate with different stylists in different ways, and certain stylists have certain strengths. Like some people are really great at fitting petite clothing, some people are really tall, and so there's expertise and differences in that area, and so we match them based on the stylist that works best for them.
I know fashion as well is changing quite a bit continuously. And a lot of people, for example, are looking towards more like smaller brands or more like vintage type brands or more thrift kind of materials. All these things have been very popular with like younger generations. So for your brand and kind of creating this startup, what have some challenges been in making a tech company within fashion currently?
I think maybe a couple of things. I think one is like, I think there's sometimes this like tension between like scale and like deep, like emotional, like personalization. And so that's kind of the line that we've been trying to walk of like, how do you deliver something like this really quickly, really cheaply, very efficiently at scale without losing like the deep personal touch that like traditional stylists bring? Because I think that in talking to so many stylists and their customers, like that is like the element that so many people kind of keep coming back to. So we've been able to do that so far, I think partially because like the stylists we've worked with have been really incredible, and it's been relatively easy to recruit them onto the platform. But it's definitely something that we've been thinking about, like as we kind of go to our like next stage of growth, is like, how do you use technology to make this faster, easier, cheaper for everyone, but still retain like the human touch, which feels really important in a space like this.
I'm sure that personal relationship is very important, but getting there with tech is the challenge. Because when you talk about fashion, a lot of the time sustainability comes up, a lot of waste, overconsumption, heck of a lot of Amazon returns, things like that happen all over the fashion space. So how do you think that bringing AI into styling can help people make better use of clothes that they already own versus maybe constantly purchasing new clothes?
Yeah, so a lot of that's what Cello is trying to do, is that it's looking at what you already have and helping you be more mindful in your next purchase. Like for me, all my clothes are black or blue. So I probably don't need another.
Checks out. You're in blue today. Then.
I personally need styling on my own wait list. That said, like it helps you be more mindful, like take be a third perspective to come in and be like, hey, like actually, have you tried these other colors? Have you tried these things? And take a pause before you like, I think I typically, when I purchase, it's on like auto mode. Like I know I like these things. I keep buying the same thing over and over again. And that's how, like, if you think of fast fashion does it. And for the longest time, it's always been, how do I deliver you the next trend faster? And how do I get? And so what ends up happening is this like hamster wheel, you're chasing the next trend. And so for us, it's like, let's take a little more mindful approach, take a pause and see like how there's an opportunity for people who are like tired of playing catch up of like, how do I build something that's a little more sustainable for me and also for the planet?
Yeah, that makes sense. I like the analysis of the clothes that you already own, because there are so many times where I look at my closet and I'm like, oh, I got to buy some new stuff. And maybe I dig for about 10 minutes and I'm like, oh, this sweater, I forgot about this sweater. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And last thing I wanted to ask y'all is about kind of where you see AI and fashion going together. What do you think is going to happen in the fashion world as AI becomes more available?
It's almost like a good and bad. Like for the most part, great. Like it makes things a lot easier. Like technology makes you have access to outfit ideas, content, new things in fashion, and it generates at your fingertips. And then you have platforms that give you those like combinations and you can shop in minutes. And like agentic AI lets you automate your purchases so you can have that experience be very seamless. Yeah. On the other hand, though, like with generative AI, it's kind of in the name, like you generate a lot of content. And so when you have that, it becomes choice overload. Like you have so many combinations and content. And now the game is now, how do I sift through all of this and find something that I like? It just changes the way, like the whole approach of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the comparison we've been making is almost like if you like look at an industry like dating apps, for example, where a few years ago, like the first iteration of dating apps was like endless swiping, where I think there was this theory that like by seeing all of these profiles, that's going to help like with dating. But actually people got really fatigued by that because you're swiping through mostly like things that don't fit and only a few things that do. And so I think that like our thought has been that that's how you may see something like shopping and styling evolve too, where right now we're kind of in this like proliferation of content through AI, but kind of the next wave is taking that and actually kind of curating. So I feel like you see that with dating apps now, where now some of the apps that are coming out are more about like, let me get more of your context up front and more like thoughtfully match you with people. And I think that's how we see like fashion kind of moving as well, ideally, in like the world.
Yeah, like more personalization, more customization up front to avoid crippling decision fatigue.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's awesome. And y'all are doing some really cool stuff with Cello. So I definitely think all of our viewers should check it out. But thank you so much for being here today and chatting with me a little bit about it. And good luck with everything.
Yeah, thank you. This has been so fun.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, that's going to do it for us today, everybody. Thanks for tuning into the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of Hubspot Media. Our editor is Robert Hartwig, and our executive producer is Darren Clarke. We've got a ton more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. If you're not subscribed, go sign up at thehustle.co/email and follow us on Instagram at thehustledaily. We'll catch you later.